No doubt. Welcome to the Sports Bar Podcast once again. And we're back to hit you with another episode of Run It Back. This is season 2, episode 2. And y'all know how we get down, no doubt. We always say in our groups, sports talk is our thing, but hip hop, television, and movies are always in play. We drink a little beer too, but that's what we do. And so it's that time, we about to hit you with another movie. We fresh off of The Town. We did, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, a week or two ago?
2 weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. Huge success there. People say they loved it. So we are going to hit you with another one of the movies that a lot of people in the group said they wanted to see us revisit. So today on Run It Back, we will be hitting up White Man Can't Jump. And as always, I'm your boy Prime. There's my boy Source. And Source, we got a special guest today. Mr. Travis Billups will be joining us, SBP member, and the whole nine.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Can't wait to get into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, funny thing just happened as we were about to record. I didn't think that Travis and I had met before, but he reminded me that he was one of the people. Remember when we did the school charity giveaway thing that we did?
Yes.
A year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. Travis was one of the people who received one of the crates with all the school supplies for his time, which was Fairfield Court at the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, sir. So proof in the pudding. I mean, I gave y'all the picture. Now we got an actual person that was there as well.
And no doubt, we're glad to have Travis. Like I said, he's part of our Facebook group, the Sports Bar Podcast, the SBP. And anybody watching this for the first time, we would invite you to join us on Facebook. Once again, it's the Sports Bar Podcast called the SBP. And this is one of the things that we do. We run it back. So we're going to go back to 1992. A film directed by Mr. Ron Shelton. And a lot of people are familiar with some of his other work. He did Bull Durham, Blue Chips, which we will be doing at some point here on Running It Back, The Great White Height. He was also one of the co-writers for Bad Boys 2. And the list goes on. He doesn't just do sports movies, but there's a heavy sports influence because I do believe he played a little minor league baseball, I believe, if I read that right a while back. So he loves sports movies, man. But 1992 takes us to a point where the theme is basketball for the most part. And we get to see Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. And we knew Wesley Snipes a little bit. He had done quite a few movies, as he was building his fame. He had smaller parts of movies like Major League. We saw him in Mo Better Blues. And then about a year before this film came out, we got New Jack City. Woody Harrelson's a little different. We kind of knew him from television. A lot of us older heads know him from Cheers. But he also, people seem to forget, he joined Wesley Snipes in Wildcats back in '86 together. Mm-hmm. So it's a great movie, man. Great movie. In my opinion, we're going to talk about how much we like or dislike this movie a little bit later. But we start out this movie, right? And we see Woody Harrelson. He's coming in town or whatever, and he's, we hear the gentleman outside singing. They were singing, I think they were singing a spiritual, whatever, their own version. Just Another Walk With Me. And he comes up and first question he asks, is this the Venice Beach Courts or whatever? This is where Eddie King Farouk and Doug Johnson, usually lay it down. And we find out that is the place. So he goes out there and waits until basketball, he lays back, kicks back, and there's waiting on basketball players to get there, man. And I thought that was an awesome way to start the movie. Travis, what you think?
I think it was a definitely good way to start the movie. I can tell you one of the reasons why I really love the movie, hopefully I'm not jumping ahead, man, is because the movie basically focused on stereotypes. I mean, if you really think about it, the movie was about a stereotype. I mean, even the title in itself was a stereotype, right? I mean, white men can't jump. And it's kind of funny because, I really truly believe that because the white guys that I saw in the NBA, they could shoot, they could pass, but they really couldn't dunk. They really couldn't jump. They really had no hops. White ball players really weren't known for playing above the rim. So like I said before, I just like the fact that it really focused on stereotypes. I mean, he understood that a lot of people weren't going to really buy into him being a ball player. And so he used that as his hustle. He took the stereotype and he flipped it and he used it to his advantage.
It was dope. What you remember most about them opening scenes, Source?
Him dancing in front of them while they were singing. It's hilarious to me because of course he's off rhythm, but just the whole joint. And I also was thinking when he was laying on the court, speaking of stereotypes in black and white, I was like, this white dude real comfortable. He real comfortable to lay on a random court with his eyes closed. Man, he got snuffed, rubbed, something.
Out there. Yeah, man. We got to see a lot of faces once everybody has arrived to the courts and they're playing. A lot of people we remember just from short cameos or lesser known TV shows, or we got your boy Kadeem Hardison, Mr. We know Wayne in this movie, and they really, they beat him down pretty much the whole movie. Come out skinny, he is a slick. He got a lot of jokes though, whole lot of jokes, and we get the infamous mama jokes out there. Which I don't know about y'all, but back in my day, there's a lot more fists got swung than we got to really see in this movie.
Yeah, the whole joke of your mama's an astronaut, you know what I'm saying? That kind of set it off right there.
Yeah.
Those was fighting words, man.
No doubt. I witnessed quite a few things between the old Carver Middle School and Rockaway Park that resulted in things happening just a little differently than they happened in this movie, but a little more physical. Yeah, but your mother's an astronaut, classic line there. Then, of course, what was it he said, Wesley? Well, Wesley's character, Sydney tells old boy, he said, we off the mama joke. What did he say?
He said,
you going home?
Yeah. He says, okay, let's get off the mama joke. He said, let's get off each other's mamas because I just got off yours.
Yours, yeah.
And
some classic stuff. So we see, of course, we see Woody's character. We see Billy comes in and through a bunch of talking. We see one gentleman was on the playing 2 and 2. All of a sudden, he got school, so he can't play no more. Supposedly his bunions are hurting, so he goes lays over there with his girl, and she's buttering him up. So they got to pick somebody else out of the crowd. Of course, they picked the white boy with the stereotypes. We got this. I'm gonna pick your partner. You gonna roll with the white boy. But we find out quickly the white boy got game.
Yeah. I can tell you, man, after I watched that movie, now mind you, I was like 13 years old when that movie came out. But I tell you what, though, after that movie came out, and whenever I played pickup ball, we always picked that white boy, that was on the other end of the court stretching, and what I'm saying, because we was like, hey, look, that could be the next Billy Ho. What I'm saying? Grab him. What I'm saying?
So we didn't know if he could jump. But he might have a jumper. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Or he could pass.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can think of a lot of white guys from back in the day that proved that stereotype false. If you said that from NBA, you had like Tom Chambers, or a little bit later you had Rex Chapman, especially Rex Chapman.
Yeah, for sure.
The Barry brothers, not all
exactly.
Of them. Not
yeah, that's what I was about to say. You even had Brent Barry, who I think, saying doing my research, man, I think he's probably since they started the slam dunk contest in '84, I think he's the only white player to win the slam dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody before and after him, I think, were African American.
I think you're right.
I believe that you're right on that, and people don't understand. This dude actually, he had some real ups. Believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I remember watching it, man. Dunking from the free throw line in your warm up jacket.
Yeah, that was putting the swag on it with the warm-up jacket. He was like, "Oh, I ain't got to come out this joint."
Exactly.
So there was the infamous contest between the two. The shooting contest comes up. They were playing for like $62, and they go on a long tangent back and forth, talking smack to each other. Well, first, Woody's being sarcastic about his game, but it's steadily sinking jump shots. This is normally my spot and all that, and they going shot for shot. And of course, he finally catches Sydney slipping. Sydney misses, and we know all of a sudden Billy wins the loop, right?
Yeah.
But my favorite line from my favorite part of that whole exchange, as we were building up to all of this, when he was talking about your boy Sydney's talking about Michael Jordan came down there and told him he should be playing. What was it? That was a semi-pro ball or something. And he said, no, man. He said, that mess is going to mess up my game.
Yeah, he said, that's going to mess up my game. Said, no. I told Michael Jordan, hell no. It might mess up my game.
And that's my favorite joint, like from the whole, all exchanges they had during that first part, man. But we speed ahead, so a little bit later, we find out where your boy Billy is staying. He's staying at a rundown hotel, motel, or whatever. And you know it's rundown, plus you know it's back in the day, because it's like, what, $29 a day, you know, and you ain't getting that in the most rundown spot now, $29 a day. And we meet Gloria, played by Rosie Perez, and we find out about her that she's all about the knowledge. She's trying to get on Jeopardy. That's her thing. She stays in the hotel all day, reading books, studying, and she has her thing together. But we find out your boy, so Sydney finds him. Sydney tracks him down, kind of follows him home, whatever, finds him, and kind of intrudes on their space a little bit, and tells them basically, we're gonna work out this hustle. You got me, but I got it. We're gonna get this money, the whole 9 yards, and they end up, going back to a basketball court another time, and we play a little 2-on-2. And one of the guys, of course, was former NBA player Marcus Johnson, who I think Marcus Johnson, he played the hell out of that role.
Oh man, Raymond.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man, Raymond, yo. I mean, when he, my favorite scene, and probably somebody else's, like your favorite scene too, is when he finds out he got hustled, and he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my gun. I'm gonna shoot everybody up in here, and he starts walking away, and everybody just starts jetting, man. It was the funniest thing ever, man. And his girlfriend's trying to stop him from going back to the, going back to the glove compartment.
It feels like a Rockwood moment, bro. It feels like a Rockwood moment. I ain't go no names to protect the innocent, but that's another story for another day. But yes, that joint. Plus, he just played that part. Like the whole scene, from him, taking the bet, to going to his car, to getting his gun and the ski mask, to going to a store where they know him, talking about he'll rob him. He sell a gun.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ronaldo Ray. But
yeah, I know, right? I know. It's funny, man. He tells him, hey, look, man, you're going to need this piece. There's a lot of cats out here crazy than me, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's crazy, though, is like, we all know that person, like, that has that girlfriend or whatever that knows, like, he a straight live wire. Because you see how quick his girl came and got, like, as soon as the joint was over, like, oh, look. No, come, baby,
yeah.
like she
but
knew.
They all knew because they saw him walking. It was like, oh, we out. Everybody left.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like they knew he was serious. I'm just mad how he had a gun, sold it, but he had another gun in his car.
I'm going to get my other gun.
You stay strapped.
Then had a ring, but then had a blade in his, had a blade in his sock though, man.
That's that live wire we was talking about on the town.
Oh, your boy, yeah, your boy, he was off the chain. Wild as I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we forward ahead a little bit. So when there's some talk, so the guys, they get back together, and they talk about another. Well, I was about to say heist. That was last running back. Another a scheme. They talking about heist, going to Watts, right? They talking about going to Watts and playing some basketball to win some big money. In this whole 9 yards, and we get there. What was they was playing for some big money? Was it 1,700 versus 1,150, right?
Yeah.
They was playing for some big money. The one thing that I noticed about that, and maybe just the old school cat in me though, is, well, back then, of course, it was made in '92, but as I watch it now, is the presence of not only the different cities that were represented between the hats and the jerseys people were wearing. There's that one brother at first, before they started running their scheme, where they were going to pick, before they actually picked Billy, a man had that old Detroit Pistons starter on. Now you remember back in the day, those starters was lit, man. The letters matched the starter jackets, was out there. But they was out there playing for some big money. And with your boy, when they let old boy hold the money, your boy, he was sitting there told big boy, he said, oh, he let him hold the money. He ain't going nowhere. The bakery ain't open yet.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. You kind of feel like in this movie, though, that it seemed like that's kind of like Wesley's real character, like back in the day. Like this movie for me seemed like Wesley might really be like that for real, man.
Do you think, watching the movie, did you think that like in real life, do you think that Wesley Snipes could hoop? And do you think that Woody could hoop for real?
So So I was doing my research on that, man, and I think Bob Lanier and some other basketball greats actually like coached them through. And surprisingly, they said that Woody Harrelson was actually the better basketball player than Wesley Snipes, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And that's unheard of, right? I mean, because when you look at Wesley's history, I mean, Wesley was a martial artist. He's physically fit. So you would assume, and not only that, but I'm not going to lie, back then, would you really want to believe that the white guy was really better than the black guy, right? I mean, you want to believe that the brother was better, you know what I'm saying? Because this white man can't jump to assume that white man ain't got game. So you don't want to assume that the white boy is actually better than the brother. But in actuality, they said that Woody Harrelson was the better player than Wesley Snipes.
I could believe it. If you would have asked me between the two, I would have believed from watching this, it was probably that Woody could hoop a little bit better than Wesley.
Agreed. And I did like the fact that they, even when they would like drive to the hole, and first of all, the exaggeration, the moves were so exaggerated by Wesley, not by Wesley, but just the whole choreography behind the back, spin around in the air. Like, ain't nobody doing that while they wide open, regardless if you're on the basketball court, hooping in the street or not. That was crazy. Like, and over. Somebody would smack them upside. Hey, stop that.
And right in this time period, there's also a scene where we meet Tyra Farrell, which is a real name, which is actually plays Wesley's wife, plays Sydney's wife in this. And you kind of see some of the motivation behind everything they're doing, because she wants to get out of where they are. She wants to get a house and so on and so forth. And it was good seeing her in that role, because most people, the only thing they really remember about her is her in real life is her flicking that cigarette as Doughboy and his mom and that Boys in the Hood.
I do remember that, man.
Yeah. So we see her there, and but the game goes on. Of course, they lose the game, right? And coming to find out a little bit later, when he goes home, Billy goes home and tells Gloria that he lost the money. She figures out immediately that he got hustled, right?
Exactly.
You were supposed to lose that game. They hustled you. We're going to get your money back. So they go to Sydney's crib, and they kind of remember, because they took him home early in the movie, kind of where he was, and they found him. So when they get there, when we find out that the guys that hustled him are really Sydney's boys.
Yeah,
they're all sitting there watching the game.
Uh-huh.
But this is the thing, right? This is the thing that got me about this. So we have a Black woman, of course, invites you into your home. Of course, Rose's character, Gloria, she's Puerto Rican, right? So they get them in the house, and she said, "You want a drink?" So first of all, she's telling you, "I'm not giving you the money back. I don't care about man hustle Joe, man. You're not getting the money back. You want a drink," type joint, right? But did anybody notice while they're in there talking? So she offered, I think, was some coffee. Well, was she offered coffee or something? Whatever she offered her. There's a big bottle of alcohol sitting in front of Gloria.
She went and got it. She got up from the table, got it in a cup, and came back with it. I was like, oh, okay. She got real comfortable real quick.
Yeah, I'm bringing my own stuff. Like, this is how I'm getting down, in that. But did you guys notice with basketball games the guy was watching while the ladies were talking?
Exactly. They was watching the Lakers.
With it,
and the
but
Pistons.
Probably
was it the
Laker fans probably don't like it because they were playing Detroit. We know what that was, right?
Exactly.
Why gotta bring up old stuff?
That was the finals.
Gotta bring up old stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh! I just noticed your shirt there, sir. I just noticed your shirt.
Man, you just ripped off the scab, man. You just tore the scab off, man.
Bad boy.
It's all right.
So they basically, the ladies, of course, come up with the scheme. Respect to the ladies. Sydney's wife comes up and say, "You guys are gonna play in this basketball tournament, and y'all gonna win all this money back or whatever." And of course, what it was like, "I ain't doing it." The whole 9 yards. Those Wesley's like, he's more than like, "Baby, please don't make me do it." "No, baby, I don't want to do it. You guys are gonna team up to go out here and win this money." So we see, Wesley has ultimate respect, for the power of a woman. And this when they respects his lady, because almost every scene that we say is whatever she wants, she's right. Very, very rare is there an argument, anything like that.
That's a good point though, actually, because he valued his woman, as did I let's say Woody, Billy, but she wasn't his primary. His priority was the gambling because he was an addict, but he was clearly.
But that was the thing. I wonder if anybody really caught on to the fact that Billy had a gambling problem.
Absolutely.
I mean, it wasn't like your typical gambling problem where he's like at Vegas, pulling, like at the blackjack table, but he like basketball. He used basketball as a way to gamble, and I wonder if anybody caught on to the fact that he had a problem, man. Like he really had a serious gambling problem.
Yes, he did.
Whereas, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I would say whereas Wesley, I think Wesley, did it. I mean, Wesley did it to take care of his family, but also I like the fact too that they showed that Wesley actually had a job and had a successful business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so playing ball was kind of like the side hustle. Where it's like, this is like, this is my side hustle, but I actually have a job, man. I mean, and there's a scene where, Billy pulls up on him, as he's, about to meet with a client.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we found out he really knows some stuff, right?
Yeah. And I mean, and even his homeboy, had a job. Like, I mean, he was security on the set of Jeopardy.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So it's funny when they get to this tournament though, and these guys were playing some guys, what was it, Flight and Willie? And they're playing this big basketball tournament.
Dwayne Martin.
And kind of find out that one of them was Dwayne Martin.
Yeah.
We also saw play basketball. In another movie we did, Source, Above the Rim.
Kyle Watson.
Yeah, so, they out there playing ball. And we found these guys really got a name. These guys can hoop. But immediately you notice the confidence in Sidney because he tells them when he's scanning everybody, all the competition out there, when he sees them, before they play, we're like, oh, we're going to be meeting them in the finals.
Yeah.
So, they get out there and ball, mouthing back and forth. They're really going at it the whole 9 yards. But ultimately, they win Billy and Sidney, they win the game. But during the whole course of that whole scene, there was a part that, Billy got dunked on. So Sidney's trying to give him the opportunity to dunk on old boy and get him back, but he doesn't dunk. He just takes a shot and wins the game. And he asked him why he didn't dunk it. And but they win the game ultimately. But the funny thing is they're driving home, and while they're driving home after their victory, they're talking about whether or not that Billy can really dunk the basketball. They come across an old abandoned business. It was an easy credit that has a basketball goal outside. Now, my first thought was, you got a basketball? It's like, we go out there and just shoot hoops or whatever until you see if you approve for the loan or whatever.
Exactly. Well,
what's this deal?
We're going to go out there and just, hoop it up during lunch break. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to play for this loan, like loving loans in basketball.
Mr. Johnson, we're going to see if we can get you approved. The process takes a few minutes. You can sit in the lobby, or there's a basketball hoop outside if you want to go out there and practice what you jump.
Racism. They're saying black people need them loans. That's it.
So, of course, speaking of the gambling problem, of course, that we find out is how bad it really is, because he just won this money. Everything it should be good. But we find out between the two of them going at it that he's challenged. Actually, he's challenged. Billy's challenged by Sidney. Wow.
He wasn't challenged. Sidney let him have it. He was like, okay.
Yeah, like you can dunk.
Cool. I'm not worried about if you can dunk or not. It's fine. Either way. He's pushing it because he's a gambler. He has a problem. Oh, you don't believe it? Put some money on it.
And that's what Wesley even said. He's like, look, man, I could care less if you can dunk, pass, shoot. I just want to win, man. Like, as long as you put the ball in the hole, I care less how you do it. And like you said, Woody just couldn't let it go, man.
Couldn't let it go. Ultimately, he loses the bet, loses the money, and starts the long walk home. And on his way, trying to figure out how he's going to tell Gloria he lost the money. Along the way, he picks up a little bit of money he had left. He picks up a dress for her to try to smooth things over. Knowing that ain't gonna work with no one. I don't care if it's white woman, black woman, Puerto Rican, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you're not smoothing that over. I don't care what you buy. You lost that money unless you found a way to get him a house. Man, I don't know. But so it results in them. When she finds he loses the money, she's threatening to leave again, and she does leave. Grabs all her stuff and gets out, and everything really goes down here. She knocks over a candle. The hotel catches on fire.
And then the two loan shark brothers catch up to him.
The brothers he had been running from, with the Stucci brothers, been running from the whole movie. They catch on, they find him, and everything just goes downhill from there. It gets even worse for him.
So let me ask y'all a question, and then I mean, for real, like, if you were Sidney Dean and you realize like this brother needs his money, you know, if he don't bring this money home, is there's gonna be problems. As I watch that scene, even to this day, I'm still thinking to myself, if I was Sidney, I'd have been like, you know what, bro, keep the money. Like, we good, man. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and keep the money. But if you rewind it back, when Gloria was going to get the money back, Woody told her, like, no, that's the thing. There's a code to this. There's a code.
There's a code.
You lose. You know, like, you can't, even if you get hustled, like, when you lose, you lose. That's the code. That's the unspoken, unwritten code. And so, but I really do feel like, you know, Sidney was kind of heartless, man. Because I'm like, you know, I would have had a heart for the brother. I'd have been like, you know what, brother? I know what situation you in. I know what's going to happen if you go home without this dough. And, you know, our wives sat down and put, you know what I'm saying, just like, you know, orchestrated this plan. Take your money, go home. We're going to let this one ride. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Sidney didn't. He took his money and went right.
So,
because he said you made the bet, you got to live with it.
And went home. And the sad thing is, as you see Billy trying to figure out what he going to do, Wesley got a nice little candlelit dinner with his woman. You know what I'm saying? Got the music going. You know, the scenery nice, you know, and we all know how that scene ended. You know, so I mean, Wesley was on cloud 9, but then you see Billy trying to figure out, like, damn, like, and I mean, honestly, man, I think I would have got on the bus and just left. I don't think I would even have came home, man.
Yeah, we see Wesley has a little bit of a heart though, because just a tad bit, because he eventually offers to help him out after Sidney, after Billy tracks him down. You know, it's like, you know, I'm gonna try to help you out. I'm gonna throw you a little bit of a lifeline if I can. I'm gonna try to help you. He goes and finds some of his boys, and we find out, as you mentioned, that one of his homeboys who he was playing basketball against earlier is a security guard that works on the set where they film the game shows. And one of them just happened to be Jeopardy. Of course, that Gloria wants to get on, right? And so he didn't make it easy for him. He bets. He said, basically, you got to make this shot. You win, I'm gonna let you on. I'm gonna let you on the ground. If not, you gotta give me your car, man.
And you got to shoot for the sedan.
You got to shoot for the sedan. Yeah.
My brother will shoot for, you know what I'm saying, shoot for the sedan. And it's like, and a hook shot. It's like, what? Yeah. A half-court hook shot. He's like, and a hook shot. It was like, damn, man.
He's like, I'm getting the car. That's what he said. I'm getting the car.
Hey, well, let me tell you what got me about that, because we know Billy ends up hitting the shot, of course. So what got me about that is, you notice that the brother, so old boy, went straight from the basketball court to put his security uniform on. He going to work all day, funky, no shower, no nothing. Like, and it made me think of, we used to shoot ball when I was at middle school, before school started. And I'm thinking about, we sweating and getting funky in the whole 9 yards. The only thing I only had to stay that way really for one period, because I had gym second period, you know what I'm saying? So we could take a shower. But you think about brothers staying that way all day long, you know, after hooping. This brother, when out the shooting ball, going straight to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. I've seen people
do that for real. Like, hoop and go straight to work. Now I got to be to work in 20 minutes. That's flag football in the city. Yeah, having a line on them Sundays.
Yeah.
So no doubt. So then we fast forward. So of course they get on the set of Jeopardy. They make it in, and Gloria gets on Jeopardy. And after giving a crazy first answer, I guess you can tell sports is not her thing. They asked, what was the question? Who's the NBA's all-time leading rebounder? Whatever. She says Babe Ruth. So makes you think, you know, the nerves and stuff getting. So she's just not a sports person. Mm-hmm. And then, but after she gets her stuff together, she goes on a crazy run. And what's crazy is she was up against a guy who had won three times, the 3 straight shows. And he was some type of aeronautical.
He was a rocket scientist, yo.
Rocket scientist. And the other guy was an English teacher. She a former what? What's she, former disco dancer?
Exactly. Dancer. Yeah, like a former disco queen. You know what I'm saying, from Brooklyn.
Exactly.
So so of course she wins. You know, she wins her money. And so Billy tries to go get her back, and he gets behind backstage in the dressing room. And she ain't trying to see him, trying not to let him in. And what's crazy is about this whole scene is that, of course, he ends up singing a song. He sneaks in the back door, sings a song, gets in there, gets back in her heart. And we kind of figured that by her words, that, of course, Humpty Hump from Digital Underground has nothing on him. Humpty Hump got busy in the Burger King bathroom. This man got busy backstage at Jeopardy. And then again, at the hotel now, because they living good now. Living better at a hotel because of the money. So he's back in the mix. And that's just pretty much how that whole thing goes down. But we fast forward because I know we're running short on time now. So we fast forward just a little bit there, and they find out that your boy gets robbed. Sidney gets robbed. Everything in the crib is gone. So all of a sudden, he really needs money. He goes and finds Billy and said, "Look, man, I got an idea. I need your help. You owe me pretty much. I need your help to get this money back. I got to get my wife up out of here before she leaves me." And we find out that the infamous King Farouk and your boy Doug Johnson are balling out at the basketball court. And the entry fee, I believe, was $2,500 to get in. Mm-hmm. So they both kind of needed this. And he agreed to do it. But when Gloria finds out, she flips. Like, I thought we was over this. She already gave him some money to help him get a nice job, suits him the whole 9 yards. She flips, kisses him, and says bye to him. And this is just pretty much when everything goes off the rails. They get in the game, and actually, after a hard-fought game, they actually beat these playground legends. And they beat them with your boy Sidney hitting this crazy, I don't know what he was doing, ballerina type alley. And your boy Billy caught it and dunked it to actually win the game. And we find out, I guess, when it's all on the line, white men can jump.
And what's actually funny about that, after doing some research, I read that they actually, so Woody Harrelson really couldn't dunk. And so what they did for that scene is that they actually lowered the rim so he could dunk. So that's not a 10-foot rim he's dunking on. And I was kind of shocked when I read that, because I was like, damn, so you know what? White men really can't jump. Like Billy, Woody Harrelson could not dunk a ball to save his life, and they had to lower the rim just so he could dunk it.
Crazy. So we find out, what'd you say, sir?
I said that sounds legit. Yeah.
And then what we find out during this whole deal towards the end, that so they win it, they get the money, and we assume that everything is good, of course, for Sidney. But we noticed when you were talking about, both of you talked about the gambling addiction and what this person, what women meant to this person, and gambling addiction, the whole 9 yards. We never see that Billy got Gloria back. When she gone, your boy said, when a good girl is gone, she gone forever.
Gone, folk.
Yeah.
That old boy said in ATL, she gone, folk.
She gone, folk. And towards the end of this movie, we kind of find out that we believe that they actually become lifelong friends, because we see them together again towards the end of the movie, walking together, talking, of course. They talking basketball, and everything seems to be, seems to be normal. It seems that they are probably friends now.
You need a job, bro. You had to hire that man.
All right.
Get a man a job. Getting things out of the pros.
No doubt. So we're at the end of this movie. And so, Travis, since you are our guest today, what is your favorite beverage?
Well, so I'm not a drinker. So I would say one of my favorite beverages is probably root beer soda. Word up.
Okay. It's all good. So one of your favorite is root beer soda. So here on Run It Back, we use the 5 beverage scale.
Okay.
So 5 being the best, 1 being the lowest, being the worst. How many root beers you give in this movie?
Oh, 4.
No doubt. So 4.
Yeah, 4.
Strong. That's strong. Source, what about you? How many we're beer drinkers. So how many brews you give in this movie?
Well, I'm gonna have to take it like it's a late night, and I might have fell asleep on the last beer, because I'm stuck between 3.5 and 4. So I didn't quite finish that last beer. So I just, it kind of got warm after I fell asleep. So I got to go, if 3 3/4, 3.75 is a thing, I got to go with that. I can't quite go 4 because I don't love it as much as most people do. But I definitely like the movie. I enjoyed the movie, but I just don't love it as much as most people.
Yeah,
it's 4 beers for me. It would have been up until, if you'd have asked me that before, this year, I would probably say it was a 3.5. But just the nostalgia of it, watching it now, and seeing some of the old stuff that I remember, and the certain type of hats that I had and things of that nature, makes me like it a lot more than I did, previously when I saw it years ago. So I'm gonna raise it to a 4. It's gonna be 4 beers for me. A definite watch on a day off for these lazy Sundays. Now that we don't have football for several months, it's one of the ones I can go back to again and again. So the time period ups it up from a 3.5 to a 4 for me.
Okay,
no doubt.
Well,
all right.
You can always watch the Lakers if you get bored, bro. If you get bored, I'm sure the Lakers are on somewhere.
Might be they ain't playing the Pistons. Yeah. So. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Travis, man. We hope to have you again. We got tons more of these to do, bro. And,
no doubt, man. No doubt.
When we post it up, if you see something that catches you, we love to have you back, man. And we're gonna be doing plenty more of these.
Thank you so much, man. Like I said before, I mean, I love sports and I love movies, and I mean, I love your Facebook page, man. I mean, because you guys cover not just sports, but you cover hip hop too. So I mean, I just I would definitely love to come back and break down another movie, man.
No doubt. The Sports Bar Podcast on Facebook. Stay tuned because we will be doing Coming to America here soon, y'all. I believe because the release of the new movie is coming out here in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
But that's running it back. As always, I'm your boy Prime. Source, what up?
Oh, Source at Smitty Source on Instagram, Twitter. That's enough.
Run it back, baby.
Out here.